Alrighty, hello, hello, hello. Got that all set up. Getting some feedback through the mic. You exist. So I'm not going to be doing the naming ceremony until, say, about 12 minutes from now. Because that's when I was supposed to start the stream. And I do apologize for any sort of, I guess, like, not slurred speech exactly, but mispronouncing of words. I got half a root canal done today. So my mouth is not set up for the making of words in an audible fashion. Yeah, half a root canal. So we all know I'm going to, well, not we all, but, people that exist in my life know that I'm going to like a dental school. Basically, you pay the school to have students, learn how to do dentistry on your mouth, right? That's cool and all. Um, it's cheaper and dentistry is just way expensive, right? So my student got the root exposed and then she started doing whatever she does to like get it to, and I found out what a root canal was. Basically, you kill the nerve that goes to the tooth. She's absolutely shocked. Like, nobody knows because nobody can see my mouth, right? Not on camera. Um, my teeth were not good, like really, due to circumstances both in and out of my control. So yeah, I did need a root canal. She's absolutely shocked that I was not in pain. I had to tell her, after, because she tried filling it first, that after the filling process, that, um, yeah, I guess I kind of stopped eating sweets though, and not because of my teeth. Um, but that I, wasn't. So she was all like, "I bet you have a high pain tolerance," and I'm like, "No, like I appreciate you thinking that, but no, I don't." So like, just treat it as if I was a normal person with like how you would expect my pain tolerance to go, because I'm not lying. But I'm also not entirely sure that I'm telling the truth, Like, I'm not lying. I'm pretty sure. But that doesn't necessarily mean that I'm also telling the truth, right? So, anyway, so Nikki Gnomes, he's gonna stay there for a bit. So, she's getting the root canal done. And, it turns out, so like in each tooth, there's one root that goes through the tooth, right? That's why, like, if you get hit in the mouth, your teeth hurt. Or, like if you have really bad cavities, your teeth are supposed to hurt. Who'd have thought? Um, I have one that branches off into two. So after, and I felt so bad because, like, I am irrationally afraid of needles. I felt so, so bad that, she needed to give me all these numbing shots in my mouth because they weren't taking well. I was burning through the um, numbing stuff. And of course, I'm over there because you're rationally afraid, right? I'm over there whimpering, like a child who's never had a shot before. It was so bad, only to find out that we couldn't get it done. So now I have, instead of a black spot on my tooth, I have like an off-white pink stop. Yeah, but maybe worse, maybe better. I don't know. It's been a while since I've seen you get a shot. Yeah, but I felt so bad because I mean, I told her, early on, as anybody who's gonna give me a shot, I'm like, hey, look, I might pass out. It is all fear. Just prop me up in the corner somewhere and stick a trash can if I do pass out, like near me, because I will almost immediately puke when I come to. But only get worried if I haven't come to in 5 minutes, right? So like, even though, and it was so weird because like I felt like I was trying to get her in trouble, even though I really wasn't, because she gave me all the shots, right? She did all that stuff, and then she checked. She, stabbed me in the hole, I guess would be a word for it. I mean, I say it aggressively. She was not aggressive about it. Um, and I didn't feel it. Like, I didn't even have the sensation of, oh, there's pressure, right? But then when her teacher comes in and she stabs me in the mouth in the same spot with the same tool, I flinch because all of a sudden I can feel it. And I'm like, it wasn't like this earlier, I swear. Yeah, today was just not a day for root canals. I was. Oh, sorry, that was my thing to start the streaming process, but it started a little earlier today. Right? Well, I mean, I told the professor, I was like, it wasn't like this earlier, I swear. Like, I'm over there, like, trying to defend her against accusations that weren't happening. Because, like, no one was sitting there and accusing her, like, hey, you didn't do this right. Why didn't you check? Like, nobody was telling her that. Um, but I felt like they really needed to know that I was not lying, I guess. Um, yeah, it was an overall very interesting day. And then I got home after, some other necessary doodads and took a nap. Yeah, the trauma of shots is real. And like um I think it all started to blur after I think the first or second attempt of numbing. Yeah, there was a lot of attempts of numbing. Um I forget who. No, it was the teacher, what have you. Did start trying to numb me. I don't know why the teacher decided to do it, but like she did. And like at this point, the numbing was so hit and miss. It was so weird. But at this point, I could not feel a shot. I could feel certain things, but not others. So, um, like I could not feel the shot, right? But I'm also over here all sorts of traumatized. So I'm all sorts of shaking. It was It was great. It was absolutely fantastic. I can't imagine what my day would have been like without it. Raise your hand if you can feel the sarcasm. Not just hear it, but feel it. Yeah, well, I have to go with a warning sign with you. I think it's probably, and I'm not saying this offensively, like I'm not offended. Okay. I think part of the reason why I preface a lot of what I say, this is a joke, or I am being sarcastic, and then say, whatever I was going to say, is because of you. But I mean, it works great with everyone else because I have that sense of humor that people are all like, "Are you?" A lot of it does have to do with my delivery. Like, they're like, "Are you like serious? Like, is this really where we're going to go today? Like, your first step was unaliving everyone? Like, no, it's a joke." And don't read into a lot of what I say. Like, if I'm being serious, I usually say, like, no, this time I'm being serious. Other than that, it's just sarcasm, deadpanned sarcasm. It's what it is. But it is pretty much on time. So we do have another follower to add for today. I am going to butcher this, and I do apologize in advance and forever afterwards. We have my Dikti. Again, please, please, please. And you are a fisherman? Why did that go back off? Anyway, you are a fisherman, I believe, right? Yes, fisherman. And one of my favorite fishermen's too at that. So again, thank you, thank you, thank you. And take this opportunity if you like what you heard so far about me complaining about my wonderful, wonderful day today and anything else. Feel free to like, follow, subscribe, comment, whatever platform you're watching this on, be it Twitch or YouTube. And every little bit helps, and I appreciate everything. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And now we go back for the village. 'Cause that's what all this is for. All this is for the village. Which I still don't know what classification there is here anymore. So I don't know if anyone has been looking at my Twitch channel, but the other day I did endeavor. Well, I did succeed ish in streaming World of Warcraft. I have been getting back into World of Warcraft. I actually really like playing. Um, it can be expensive though. Well, the expansion came out a while ago. No, there was some other reasons why, specifically, um, World of Warcraft. But yeah, so one way or another, I did decide I was like, oh, it'd be real fun, play some WoW. Um, I did endeavor to stream it, and it is on my Twitch channel for, let me see, because I am not downloading this trash and putting it onto YouTube. Um, like I said, it was for the next 5 days. You get to see how bad that was. Now, I didn't talk or nothing, because it was a dry run. Just wanted to see how it would go, and it went poorly. Um, I so I mean, you guys have heard me complain about the bit rates, why my bit rates go so high. Um, but in general, it doesn't seem like it's affecting the videos. So I'm like, okay, well, me and my infinite ignorance, right? Oh, well, it can't be that bad. Um, I was looking at my stream. I briefly popped in because I was like, oh, well, it can't be that bad. So everything will be fine. Yeah, I can run Minecraft. So apparently I can also stream World of Warcraft because that takes similar resources. Um, the lag in that video, the like, because I use OBS. So the OBS, I was looking at the stats. Um, I can pop that up, kind of. So the frames missed due to rendering lag, the skip frames due to encoding lag, the drop frames, network total output, all of it was just red. Like, put me out of my misery, take me out back, red. I'm just trying to figure out ways to fix that. Yeah, it was interesting. And I was like wondering why so many people were suddenly popping into the views and then just leaving. Um, well, that was why. I'm sure that, well, I mean, again, I wasn't being overly entertaining or nothing, but I'm sure that it did not help. So that was my experience. Um, if I do start wanting to stream WoW, I'm really gonna have to upgrade hardware, space. It's gonna be a whole thing. Yeah, that was um so I don't know if I've mentioned this. I do actually have a gaming laptop. I've been playing off of a stock desktop, right? I do actually have a gaming laptop. So this weekend, my goal is going to be because we have some leftover wood and my desk is in a weird shape. So I have a dead corner. Um, cut some wood to size, drill some holes in it so I can like zip lock it into place or zip tie it into place and see if I can actually run a stream off of my laptop. But I got so used to my gigantic monitor. Like at first, when I first got it, right, I was all like, 'cause I thought bigger's better. Um, not necessarily. Yeah, Ziploc. Bigger is not necessarily better. That does not inherently mean you can run, like, if you have a screen twice the size, like your monitor's twice as big, that does not inherently mean that you can run two screens worth of information easily off of your one monitor. Yeah. Ignorance. I have it. Ignorance is also being forcefully bred out of me. Let's see, what was that? Oh, well, hey, thank you, KD. Final. I'm so sorry. I am probably mispronouncing that. But no habla español. Um, like un poquito. But gracias for the follow. Again, I don't speak Spanish, and what little I do is incredibly broken. And you'd really think, being in the South, I would have picked up a little bit more than I actually have. So, yeah, but it's alright. But yeah, the WoW. I am going to. That's my goal for this weekend, is to get that platform up. And I've been thinking about it for a while, just so I can have 2 monitors. Do I inherently want to be running my laptop like that? No. Do I think it'll help? Yes. Do I think that it'll fix my problems? Probably not, because again, it is a laptop. Um, should what? Should what, Mayo? Tell me your secrets. Right, yeah. Well, I mean, idealistically, I would like to be able to get, like, maybe not a tricked out desktop, but a desktop that will um, do what I want it to get done. But it's just so expensive. And I apparently have a lot of dental work I get to pay for, so. Yeah, my student, she's very, and I didn't know this, but apparently the school, right, has this program where they help you quit smoking. And I know I haven't mentioned this before, I do smoke. I smoke cigarettes. I am endeavoring to quit. I have, since I put my little plan into action, cut back. I do feel a lot more better. Yeah, that's, at that point, like 1500, that is, and because of all the extra, oh, you need more work than we thought, charges, that is almost half as much as I'm looking at being charged for all of my dental work. Yeah, and that's not counting like other people's dental work in the house. So, definitely not in the cards. It doesn't really matter who, just other people. Um, but yeah, so it's, unless somebody wants to shower me with electronics gifts, I'll try to deal the best that I can with what I have and still be able to put up a at least clean-ish looking stream, because I really do want to do WoW streaming. One, because like doing the Minecraft, I ramble. So actually, um, I did find out, doing some mild research to cure part of my ignorance, right, about the whole streaming thing. Streaming off of things like a Steam Deck or a mobile phone or like a um the Switch, and I think some of the other, wait, one, two, three, four, five, yeah, I thought it was. Some of the other like handheld gaming devices, you need like a bunch of extra things that I got so confused about. And like, I'm still just, you can apparently stream from the Switch. It's just incredibly unnecessarily difficult to do so. So that's my fun fact of the day. Let's see, one, two, three, four, five. Right. Yeah, exactly. You don't actually stream from the Switch. Like, I'm on my desktop. I've got the OBS, I've got the Twitch up, I've got all this other stuff up, right? So I'm technically streaming from my desktop. Apparently, and I might be wrong, um, so like feel free to correct me and cure part of my ignorance. Apparently, you get like a linking card things. Yeah, but I still need to figure out just how to stream World of Warcraft and figure out exactly what's wrong. So it's like, well, I'm watching all these videos, right? They all have like this NVIDIA, right? That's all I'm seeing is NVIDIA. I know NVIDIA is a graphics card. Cool, right? Like, hey, I actually know some things. Um, but I was, you know, talking about it, and well, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know nothing. Well, most things that are closed are not good for Linux. Linux being open source, I think. I was talking about it, and like someone had brought up, and he's like, "Are you sure you need a graphics card and not like a processor?" And I was like, "Look, I don't know. The word card was used, and I was seeing NVIDIA, and I know NVIDIA does graphics cards. Outside of that, I have no idea. NVIDIA could do processor cards. NVIDIA could do like shady backdoor schemes, and like I don't know. I don't know anything, right? That was So there is going to be some required assistance. Oh, they do. Well, I just assume it's a big company. I don't know any big company that doesn't do shady backdoor schemes. So I just kind of assumed, but again, like, don't take my words as gospel because I don't know. Hey, Miss Bond, I'm so sorry. I did not. I was looking at trying not to fall off ledges, which wasn't doing very well. It's been going. We are currently talking about my issues and challenges streaming WoW. And back to one of the reasons why I want to stream WoW, other than I'm playing it and it's fun, is because I don't feel like I ramble as much. Um, like there's things to immediately talk about, and things are constantly changing about what I'm immediately talking about. I can be like, oh, well, this quest is weird. Why would you be doing this, Mr. NPC man? Also complaining about my dungeon parties. when you do like little dungeons. Although right now, one, because I'm a returning player, and two, because I just am not good at playing games, and I'm a hunter, so I do DPS, right? Right now, I'm just happy if I can out DPS the healer. Like, it's that bad. If I can out DPS the healer, like, I feel like I'm doing good. Which is really sad. I'm not competing with the tank. I'm not competing with the other DPSs. I'm competing with the healer, which is really funny and really sad, and also very frustrating because um like there was one, and like the I during the course of this endeavor, I learned from this one party that I was staying way back. Like I was like at the bare minimum of being able to shoot things, but then also like I can like feign death at the drop of a hat. Yeah, but out like if there's like, and I'm a Beastmaster hunter, like if there's three Beastmaster hunters, me included, I'm happy if I out DPS the healer. I'm not even in competition with others, just the healer. And so right, the party just kept dying, and it wasn't the healer's fault. And even the tank admitted, he's like, I don't know what's going on. It's not the healer's fault, but like they just kept dying, and like everybody was dying. So I had my little mouse over feign death when things went bad, so I was feigning death. Well, we got to the last boss, and I was like, I'm so done. I just want this to end. Yeah, no, Miss Blonde, you're more than welcome to tell me about yourself. Just as a heads up though, if you are going to be offering, because I've been getting a lot of like, hey, if you want, right, so like if you want, help doing this or help doing that, or, like advice on how to do better, or like selling services like artwork or like classes, I have been getting people in my chat. That's one of the things I'm going to be doing. I don't mind getting hit up for things like that. I really don't. But if you want to try to sell whatever it is, or, push other things, I have no problems with it. But you are also more than welcome to send me a whisper. Um, right, you can send me a whisper about things like that. I do occasionally check my Twitch whispers, like, but I would greatly appreciate that not be in the chat. That's going to be one of the chat rules, because I mean, I should have realized it, but I did not realize it was going to be the issue that I view it as. Um, like, if you want to talk about how your day's going, how your life's going, um, make humorous remarks about what I'm currently doing on the Twitch, that's cool. That's what chat's for, is for connection. But if you are interested in pitching yourself or pitching whatever services, please whisper me, because that is going to be a way, and once I get the rules set up, like that is going to be a way for you to be banned, because chats, that's not what chats are for. Chats are for socializing with the streamer and other people viewing, in my opinion. So that being said, the party kept wiping. be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right? Okay, so I got to do this and I have to count. And I can't count and talk at the same time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. See, 3, 3, 3, 3, 4, 5. And I'll just go right here right now. See, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'll put a little glass right there right now. And then let's see. And I'll do it from here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alright, and then the one in the center. 2, 3, 4, 5. Haha, success. Alright, so my party kept wiping. I was getting frustrated, and so, like I was saying, I had my mouse over the feign death, so I would just like pretend, drop dead, so that I would not keep having to go to the start and run all through the dungeon, because as a hunter, the only way I have movement is to jump backwards. I can barely manage moving my character forwards. Never mind going backwards. So I have no movement. Final boss, I was getting all sorts of frustrated, and I wanted to be out of this party so bad, but I wanted my little time walking tokens. So the tank goes, one of the DPSs go, another of the DPSs go, and so it's just 2 DPSs and the healer. Okay. All of a sudden, I knew what buttons to click at what time and how to play like the WoW floor is lava. I am not convinced. No one cannot convince me that WoW is mostly just the floor is lava. With all the AoE and everything attacks that the bosses and everyone does. I suddenly figured out how to play. Like, really well, too. Like, I out DPS the other DPS by like twice as much. Which, thank you. I do appreciate that you agree with me on that. Like, I suddenly was like, oh, I can play. The answer to your question is yes, by the way. Maybe you can help me get that set up sooner rather than later, because yeah, it's not having a good time with all of that. Like I said, I don't mind services and certain assistants being, you know, pitched. I really don't. But like I said, I don't think that that's what chat's for. So yeah, that's definitely a thing that's going to have to exist. That I did not know was going to have to exist. So fun stuff on that. Yeah, so I suddenly was like, oh, I know how to play. I can do this, right? Riding my ego. And so I jumped into another time walking dungeon. And I was back to trying to out DPS the healer. So I'm only good when push comes to shove. But other than that, like, I'm awful at it. I enjoy it though. So if anyone's like, oh, well, you know, I'm awful at doing this, so I'm not going to do it. Like, no, you can be trash at doing things. like if you're doing it recreationally, like if you're doing it and like it actually matters to like others, um, you know. But like if you're trash, and I say this because a lot of people are like, oh well, I like crocheting, but I'm so bad at it. I crochet a lot. Or, like I like doing this, but I'm so bad at it. So like I don't want to do it because I'm bad at it, even though I like doing it. Right. Like, you do these things, in my opinion, because you enjoy doing these things. It's fun, like you get either escapism or you get just like Call of Duty. I know a lot of people get, because I'm on Reddit a lot of people, get all frustrated at work and like they get on and they're just like, I had a stressful day at work. So, this is what happened and now I'm going to get on Call of Duty. Like it's stress relief. Like it doesn't matter if you're trash at it. Speaking from somebody who is trash at it for a lot of things, if you enjoy it, like just do it anyway. Like no one who really cares at that point is going to matter. Like if you like doing art, but like me, your art looks like a second grader on steroids, who's also like ill-equipped with any sort of like motor function, um, but you have fun doing it, it don't matter. You have fun doing you. Like you're not harming yourself. You're not harming anyone else. And you have fun. It's all that matters. Hobbies are hobbies for a reason. Right. Like, no one's gonna care. And there is a level of solace in that. Like, I mean, speaking as someone with anxiety that I still cringe, in past memories of like, oh, I can't believe I did that. Like, I still think back and I cringe. Like this time when, some kid was playing with a yo-yo and I was in like a YMCA, so it's not like I could leave. Um, right. Like some kid was playing with a yo-yo and I told him I was like, and he was like right behind me. I told him I was like, look, you might want to like not do that here because you're probably gonna hit someone. Well, he decided to still play with the yo-yo and then hit me in the back of the head. To this day, it was an immediate reaction. There was no thought out plan. There wasn't all like, okay, well, I gave the warning. Now I'm gonna like beat this kid up for not listening to me, you know. Um, I just immediately stood up, turned around, and anyone who's seen me can attest. I have a piss off and die face, and gave him that piss off and die face. Realized what I had done as this kid is looking at me scared shitless. And I was like, sorry. Yeah. Let us. Mm, I'll figure that out. Well, actually, I'm gonna have someone else figure that out for me because, yeah. Scared shitless because, like, he literally thinks that I'm going to do something. And to be fair, I looked like I was gonna do something. I just was like, oh, sorry. And I turned around and sat down. Now, he did not play with the yo-yo ever again. I don't know if I did traumatize this kid or not. I mean, the counselor at the YMCA was like, I literally thought you were going to start a fight over that. And I was like, I did not mean to. I gave him a warning. It's not like he gave me a concussion, like the involuntary response. Um, like I still cringe about that. And I don't even just cringe for, scaring the kid. I cringe about everyone else seeing me scare this poor kid. Do I think there is a possibility that the kid remembers? Oh yeah. Um, do I think there's a possibility that I traumatized that kid that bad that he thinks about it at night? No. Do I think anyone else in that room remembers or cares to this day? No. Um, like I get that your actions do have lasting consequences, but like 50 years from now, like even even now, like I don't really think that one moment is going to leave like this huge lasting impression. Like in the chat. Okay. Uh actually I'm just going to yeah. Uh, I can figure this out. All right. You can see if that worked. Like no one's going to care. And I guarantee you no one's going to care how bad I am at video games in 10 years. No one's going to care about how bad your art is or how awful your crochet looks or like how much like I I know people do. I'm not one of these people. But like no one's going to care that your form of running for, because you enjoy it is all of like 5 minutes before you're having to like take a break. Because one, you've outstripped me. I get like 2 minutes before I'm like passed out on the floor and done. Right. Um, but no one's really going to care long term. Most people, except the people who have too much time on their hands and probably should be caring about other things, is not going to care in like 5 minutes, 2 minutes, or even like when it's happening. Like, no one's going to be like, oh. Like, if you have a hobby that you want to do, have fun with it. If you're not having fun, then yeah, definitely. Like, if you're crocheting and you're like, oh, I don't like the process, like, it's not fun. It's not good at it. I'm not good at it, and it's not fun, you know? Then yeah, definitely probably find a different hobby. But if you're whatever hobby it is, and you're like, well, I like doing it, but I'm not good at it, so I'm not going to continue doing it, just do it anyway. You ain't got to be good. And if and when I do manage to get WoW up and going, everyone can see how trash I am. And everybody can be like, why you playing? And I can be like, because it's fun. Yeah, I've been getting a lot of those and it's so frustrating. Um, because it's fun. I enjoy it. There's no lasting consequences. And that's one of the things, like, I mean, it's not impossible, but it's thank you, thank you, thank you. And I think Miss Blonde was okay because they did ask and more or less respected the answer. They didn't just come out and be like, oh, I do this and that. So like, oh yeah, I remember that was a thing that they were talking about, like definitely start doing that. And then I was like, I will definitely start doing that, and then never did. There are days I wonder if I need to get checked for ADHD. There really, really is. And the more I hear about it, the more and I'm not trying to self-diagnose or diagnose anyone else. Right. The more I hear, yeah, the more I hear about, um, especially ADD or ADHD, well, not ADHD, but ADD in, um, women, girls, females, right? I know that that's like a choice term, females, but I mean, we're talking a broad spectrum of ages here, so just females in general. Um, ADD and ADHD do, haha, said it, present differently than they do in males. Again, males are ages. Because I do think that there's a drastic age difference between a girl and a woman, but that's my idea of semantics. And sometimes I do. I wonder if, like, there is a part to play, but I do know for a fact that a part to play of um, some of the issues and challenges I have of getting complicated long-term tasks done is like I mentioned, I have anxiety, right? I also have depression. Um, Medication does help, but it is a tool. It is not a fix-all. So there are times where, and again, the medication definitely helps, but it's not a magical cure-all pill that if I take, I'm suddenly a normal person. Um, where like I'm anxious because I'm like, I need to get this done and I need to do this and I need to prep for this and like this needs to get done and those people need to get called and like I need to schedule for this and oh I need to get this ready and prepped for whatever's going on here and like that's cool and I'm real good. I can make a list and I can stick to a list and slowly chip away at it, right? Cool, that sounds awesome, right? Like, okay, like, yeah, you got that handled, except then the depression starts sneaking in. And so while I'm here having this, like, thought process of all these things that I need to get done, right? And how I'm going to do all these different things, um, I got the depression sneaking in where, like, I find it hard to actually do anything. So I'm over there needing to get all this stuff done, which is compiling now because I'm not doing anything, right? But then I don't have the ability to actually do anything, which of course exasperates anxiety because now I have more stuff that is more urgent day by day. Which because now I haven't gotten the stuff done, I feel bad, so that exasperates the depression. And it is a vicious cycle that's very hard to chew your way out of. Once you start that cycle, like I'm still working on getting out of that cycle. Even with the medication and the different tools and things that I have put in place because I recognize this, right? Like I recognize it's a problem. I know how to fix it. I know it's not going to be like an immediate got it done, right? Because that cycle has started. It is so hard to break it because either you cave in a little bit, and not cave, that's probably a bad word, but you lean a little bit into the depression, and like you tell yourself it's okay, right? Like you can, like, none of this really needs to get done right now all at once, right? Or you can lean a little into anxiety, which you get stuff done, let me tell you, when I'm having one of those episodes. But getting it evened out where you don't have what feels like insurmountable tasks and projects, and also having that time to sit down and just kind of process, it can be very difficult. So like today, I am trying very hard to stick to my streaming schedule. So at least people can be like, "Oh, well, I know when they're going to be here." At the very least, right? Which is great. I know I said that in like a sing-songy kind of voice that usually people make fun of or fun with. No, that's great. I think that was like a good call on advisors' parts, right? To be like, "Hey, make a schedule and stick to it. Like you can stream whenever else, but make sure that you are available to do this at this time." Right? So I've been sticking to that. But I have a lot of things that need to get done. Um, but I also recognize, today was not a great day, as I talked about earlier with the root canal, and that it is okay to go take a nap, which is what I did when I got home. I took a nap, and then I woke up, spent some time with the kid, uh, let the dogs out, do all that stuff. Which, by the way, huh? If anyone has noticed, I got what my kid calls the dog cam up and going. Are we impressed? Because I'm impressed. Um, yeah, so I don't. While I'm over here in the mine cart, let me check to see how that looks. Yeah, there's the Nuggie, she's the little black one, and then there's Bisky, she's the little brown one. Yeah, so I did. I managed to get that all set up. I was so proud of myself. Yeah. Because I moved, they got all excited. While I'm actually staring at my dogs, I am going to um get more coffee because I've talked more and my mouth is dry. And I was trying to put off getting coffee, but now like I, I need something to drink. So I will be right back. Again, anyone watching this, feel free to take a moment, like, subscribe, follow, comment, whatever platform you're watching this on, either be Twitch or YouTube. And I will be right back. All right, I've returned with coffee. Coffee, 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 coffee. I'm gonna be so glad when this island gets evened out. Like, for real. I'm so looking forward to it. I do apologize if you hear munching in the background. Um, my dog was kind of sad because they've been in my room almost all day, and she got so conflicted because she wanted to come back with me after I got my coffee, but she was hungry. I have no idea what that is. Pal word devs. I have no idea what pal word is. Um, She was so conflicted. You could see it on her little face. She was looking at me, looking at the food, and like she'd step forward a little bit and then like turn around. So, if you do hear dog munching noises, it's because I did bring a bowl of food. I, s- I still don't know what that is. Um, I did bring her food in here for her so she'd be less conflicted. Because I do. I love my beastie girls. Ain't that right, Bisky? She's giving me side eye. She wants to be on my lap. Um, but I learned to. Oh. Oh, I heard about that. I mean, not the whole suing part, but the whole game. And I was like, that's interesting, I guess. I mean, you can't say A, I did not see the suing coming, or B, that the whole game idea was definitely a thing that was going to happen. I'm not condoning or damning anyone who owns or plays it, but I think it weird. And you will get poked at verbally. Um, on the occasion, but I mean, people read. I think people read way too much into games and TV, especially like animated stuff. Like, obviously, I mean, now thanks to the developments in the technological field, it's sometimes hard to distinguish real from fake, right? AI generated images, Photoshop, like good Photoshop, not bad Photoshop, right? Um, to distinguish real from reality. But especially if it's animated, like anime, cartoons, um, all video games, I think. I don't know anyone that's so real looking like you can be like you can't be like, "Oh, that's definitely not an actor," doing that. Or, "Oh yeah, that's definitely not," you know? Like they all kind of look like, "Oh yeah, this was, man-made." A lot of that media gets such a bad rap, like where you can capture people. I heard about that, and a lot of people, were going on about, slavery and all that other stuff, which, yeah, definitely bad. I'm not saying good, I'm saying definitely bad. But I don't think a game is going to encourage that behavior in others. Because I remember growing up, right, vaguely. My memory's a bit shoddy here and there. Don't ask me specifics because unless you are willing and ready to give me prompting, I probably don't remember it. Well, yeah, just because they discourage it doesn't mean that you can't, and that doesn't mean people won't. Um, but again, it's a game, like obviously very fake. Um, my mother did not like us watching Pokemon because she thought we were going to get it into our heads that we should be able to get our animals, like our pets, to fight either each other or other animals. Like, like we were going to start some like child syndicate of um animal cruelty and dog fights. Yeah, see, there you go. Like that was definitely like I never looked at my dog and was all like, You're a Pokemon now, so get in this box so I can throw it at another animal so that you can fight. Like, that was really, really not what occurred in my head. Ever. Like, I know some people, um, again, not dogging or nothing. Some people, well, yeah, because that's cards and it's all a simulation or whatever, I guess. Like, the actual show uses cards and not like pseudo, I guess, realistic creatures. Um, right. Oh, speaking of murder, I was reading the manga for Pokemon, and good lord, like, that's definitely not child safe. I did not know or desire to know what the inside of Pokemon looked like, but now I do. Yeah, so definitely manga, not child friendly. But like, and I know, again, not dogging again, that some people do have a much harder time differentiating what is obviously fake and what is hypothetically real. For Yu-Gi-Oh or Pokemon. Um, and that's fine. Like, I completely understand. Like, if your kid starts thinking that, like, and there's a level too, like being a parent myself. There's a level of when a child, like a child, starts realizing that cartoons are not real, um, but that happens pretty early, in my opinion, in the development stage. Some people, they don't grow out of it exactly, or they still find it very, very difficult. No, I did not know. I mean, I didn't know either one, but I did not know that the manga was based off of the show. But that just makes it more disturbing. Um, and yeah, definitely if that's your kid, or even if that's you and you have a hard time, like, that sucks and I'm sorry. Like, it really does. The level of confusion you must have is astronomical. Um, or like, if that's your kid, like, that can be incredibly confusing. But I just, in general populace, right? Like, they're not going to see a cartoon and be like, that's what I'm going to do, right? Like, well, because they did this in the cartoon, so that means it's okay in real life. A lot of people can differentiate, this is okay here and this is not okay there. Um, Part of that, though, I do think bred, like those online personas of what is okay, quote unquote, to do online on social media versus what's okay to do in real life. Because I guarantee you, I'm not saying that they won't, because there's people that exist that, regardless of how low I stuck that bar, they just seem to keep wanting to dig it deeper into the ground of just being a decent human being. Um, People online say and do things like to other real people online that they would never do in real life. And I get that part of that, is just being able to vent frustrations, which There's more productive ways to do it. I do not suggest taking an axe to a tree in the backyard gloveless. At least wear gloves. Other than that, I took all sorts of necessary precautions. Um, but a lot of that is that like you don't face real consequences. What, taking the axe to the tree? Yeah. Yeah, I definitely do that or did that. Definitely not personal experience there, even though it most certainly was. At least my hands are no longer as messed up. Well, they're not actually messed up at all. They just have weird looking spots on them now. Um, but yeah, there's no immediate consequences. Like you, you can go up to someone in real life, someone on the street saying stuff that you don't agree with, and like you can call them all sorts of names and tell them that they're a horrible person, XYZ, right? Chances be, though, you're going to get punched in the face. That's how that works. Shocker, right? But when you do that online, there's no immediate consequence. You get to build like this online persona of, whatever you want to be. Have an online persona of being like a wonderful, person who has like good values and all this other stuff, but in real life, you're just a trash human. To take the reverse plot, there's a lot of people always talking about how like people are like decent human beings in real life, and then like online, they're just like trash people. Um, but it could go the other way. I don't see why it would. Usually, trash is trash. I don't know who that is. Um, but it could theoretically go either way. But we do lose a level of connection. And I do think that that is sad. Now, I understand how helpful the internet can be, especially when people are incredibly isolated, either by choice or by necessity, or you just don't have the mental capacity to go out. Been there, done that, bought that t shirt, and there are still days. Um, yes, it is both a godsend and a awful place. Right, but I think that's with most things though. Like everything, like I don't think that there's anything out there that's like, and I mean, this may get me some backlash, I guess. I don't think that there's literally anything out there that is strictly awful or strictly, like the best. See, even smoking. Yeah, like even though I'm not advocating, okay? My personal opinion is that most people that do that second thing is are trash humans, right? However, right, for sure. However, and I'm not saying this so that people can go up to victims and be like, "Oh, well, you know, it all worked out, so you're okay." Right? But there has been, like you hear a lot of the bad stories. Like the thing happened, woman got pregnant, especially, now that Roe v. Wade's been overturned. Um, Things have been revoked in certain states, and I definitely do live in one of them where I hope even if I get willingly pregnant, nothing ever goes wrong. Um, because that's going to be a crapshoot and a half. Because the statutes that they have, right? The statutes. But you do hear those stories where they're, women who were victims, and they were victims, like for sure, 100%. Okay, no woman's ever sitting there asking for things like that. No one, a woman or a guy. But like there are those more happier endings, I guess, where like she does get pregnant and she does keep the kid, and she falls in love with the kid, and because that's sometimes what you do. And would you go back and change how that child happened? Yes. Does that guy deserve things? Oh, definitely. Oh yeah, it's not common. Like, I'm not saying like everyone, like for sure 100%. Most of the times it's a bad situation all around. But you do get those stories. You do get those happy endings. That's why I'm not like entirely sure that it's 100%, awful. Right? Oh, I also learned of the bamboo method and the boat method. Um, Personally, I would opt for the boat method. And anyone 18 years of age or older can definitely look that up. I will tell you it requires 2 boats. And then you can go look at. No, not bull, boat. Yeah, it's kind of close to the honey and milk method, but they take it one step further. And I don't want to get banned for describing exactly what they do. And again, 18 years of age or older, please. I'm also not advocating anyone does this on their own. Like, don't. Real life is not the internet. Use some common sense. Yeah, I will tell you what I'm talking about later. But yeah, again, definitely not advocating self-righteous behaviors. But, there's definitely some people that I don't think should exist. But like I said though, I don't think anything in particular is like a hardcore black, white. Some things are definitely blacker than others. Some things are definitely, I think, whiter than others. Um, but not. Yeah, it's all shades of gray. Some very, very dark gray, some very, very light gray, but it's all gray. end of the day, I still think the world also sucks, and most humans are trash. And yeah, but I also think I personally can be an awful person. So here we are. I think that there are good people, like in general. I don't think anyone's perfect. Like, no one's going to be perfectly good, and like always being able to make the right call or do the right thing. And that's one of those things that being a parent, right, that I do take a level of solace in, not solstice, solace. Um, Not that I'm going to purposely go out and do anything, but as a parent, I will traumatize my child. Um, to what degree, I don't know. I'm not going to try to do that too bad. Um, I know I was quote unquote, this term's very loose here, traumatized by my father. Um, because heaven forbid that remote was not where it belonged. Like, he never did anything really, I guess, like aggressive in any way when that remote wasn't there. Um, but yeah, if that remote was not there, like, you knew about it. So like trauma. Like it, and now I'm weird about the remote. Like the remote's got to be where it's supposed to be, and if it's not there, like it's gonna get real. So yeah, I don't think that necessarily classifies under the word that we use today, um, trauma, but it does have lasting, lifelong consequences. Right. Lasting, lifelong consequences. Where it's not always something, deeply negative, but there is, lasting long-term consequences to that particular behavior that I experienced growing up. Do I feel the need to go to therapy over it? No. But also, unlike my father, um, everybody that watches a TV has a TV in their room. So I really only worry about the TV that's in the living room and then my personal TV. Um, I like my kid's got her own TV with her own remote that she can do with whatever she wants. And even she has learned the value of, having a designated space for a remote. Because she was telling me she can't find her remote. And I was like, this is why I have. Oh no, she does. She does use her TV with the remote now that I have stopped letting her camp in my room and I'll be all day watching my TV, which is nice. Um, yeah, so yeah, she couldn't find her remote, and I was like, this is part of the reason why I have, like these pseudo fits about not being able to find my remote because it's not where it belongs. This is why this is a rule. your room, your remote. You can do what you want, but this is why that rule is in place. And now you feel the consequences, so you gotta go find your own remote. Now she does have a designated space for said remote. Parenting's a trip. I mean, I'm just glad I only got one. Like, just the one. I don't have to worry about any other kids. Yeah. Um, it is a fulfilling and interesting experience, watching something grow up that you have a very direct hand in the way they operate and interact with the world. It is very rewarding. It is also almost equally aggravating. Right. Yeah, it definitely for people with things, um, I would not suggest it. Um, Also, if you really like your ability to do things on your own, again, would not suggest it. Just if you really like the ability to go to the store, I mean, now after COVID, not really, but if you really like the ability to go to the store at 1 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning because you want chips, um, having a kid would not recommend. Really, really wouldn't. Oh, I'm missing one right here. And like as much as I'm kind of going off about how, kids, um, if that's like your goal though, like you enjoy having kids and, like you like raising kids and you have like a lot of kids, like more power to you and my deepest respect. Because I could not. Like, I just could not do that. I like the little bat squeaks. I think that's what I'm hearing. Yeah, again, me going off on the sounds that I don't typically hear. I do. I like the little bat squeaks. I think they're cute. Well, I mean, yeah, I can definitely see that. They are a bit high pitched. Um, but they're so cute. They're so cute. Oh, you are able to find things that sometimes I can't find on the internet. Um, the barking sound for the dog or wolf or whatever. Do you know how they acquired that sound? Like, I know that they did it a bunch of different ways, for a bunch of different sounds, and that's cool and all, but I specifically want to know. And again, anyone can answer this question. Like, I really want to know for no reason how they got the sound for the dog bark and if it is like an actual recording of a dog's bark, what breed of dog? Like, I really want to know, like, what their choice was for that. I mean, because when that dog barks, it kind of sounds like it would be something from like a Great Dane or Mastiff or, like one of the big dogs, right? But, like, by size comparison, I think it's more of a medium-sized dog and should ergo not have such a devastating bark. Because I will not admit to anything, but sometimes that dog barks and I jump. That's part of the reason why he's staying upstairs today. The other part of the reason is he kept getting in my way, and, well, that's why he doesn't have armor, and I feel bad. I know he's like, he's not a real dog. You shouldn't feel bad. Well, I do. And he's real enough. I like my Nomi boy. I like my little beasties better. You sleepy beasties. But yeah, I'm so proud of myself. I figured out how to rig up the camera. And the lights. I think I'm more impressed with the lights. Because the camera, I mean, once I figured that out, like that was like super easy. Oh, you just attach it to this thing and bend it until like you see it well inside the little screen. And I was like, oh, well, that makes a lot of sense actually. The lights were an issue because either when I had like a light on the stick that I use for the camera, the light would just die after a bit. And then if I had the flashlight, because again, my desk is glass, when I had the flashlight upturned on my desk, it had weird lighting. So then I got like these sticky LED things, like one of those sticky strips that people use to decorate stuff. I taped that underneath my desk, and I thought that was gonna work real well because that tape is sticky. Oh, my bigger dog, the one that's not my dog, got underneath my desk, and she was, I guess, moving around a whole bunch. Oh, oh well. Yeah, the Cali girl. She was moving around underneath my desk trying to get comfortable. It's also why the blanket doesn't look pretty right now, and I haven't gone underneath there to change it up. She had pulled the lights down, and so the stick got a little dirty, so it wasn't sticking properly anymore. And I also think that she's part of the reason why the camera did not stay duct taped underneath the table. Because that was the original thing. I had duct taped the camera underneath the table. I think she had pulled that down too. Not on purpose, but I mean, she's a bigger dog. Not big, but bigger. Because now it's being held up by like 4 pieces of Scotch tape. And it's fine. So yeah, I think she pulled it down and got a little dirty, so now it doesn't stick very well anymore. But it works, and I'm not going to mess with progress. Like, I got it done. I'll look at that in a bit. But yeah, so I mean, I'm still working on it. I thought I had, because I was so proud of myself. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Make sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I ran out. Anyway, I thought I had everything all set up and pretty, and turns out I'm missing a lot of stuff because I've been asked by people I actually know, why don't you have this set up, or do you have this set up, or how are you doing this? And I'm like, uh, let me get back to you on that. No, I actually tell them, I'm like, I didn't think about that, or I didn't know, or like I don't understand it, and I haven't sat down to figure that out yet. Um, that's a lot of my responses to a lot of things. Like I just don't know. I don't know. I know that certain things exist. I know some things. Or I don't know what doesn't exist. I'm just I'm along for the ride. I'm also still irrationally curious about the wolf sound. So again, if anyone is listening to this and has an answer, or like a suspicion, like you're like some sort of like dog professional, and you can be like, well, I'm a dog professional, and I once heard like 10 years ago this insert breed dog, have a bark exactly like that. So maybe that's it. Like that would be cool. Yeah, I got dog training, right? I have trained my dogs to my behavior and my expectations. I am not a professional dog trainer. People think my dogs are very well trained. And I'm like, no, they're well trained to me, right? Like, I mean, they understand certain commands that, yeah, poor Biscuit. So that comment, um, we took the dogs down to a beach, and I mean, we weren't being irresponsible with them. The beach was basically empty. There was no one else really, and they, like I've mentioned, they have a little bit of separation anxiety. It's always been there, but they're small dogs, so I mean, I think that's just inherent. Um, and I was, you know, out in the ocean with my boyfriend, and we were just kind of walking out, and he just turns around all of a sudden and yells, "Biscuit!" And I turn around, and I'm like 5'3" odd, right? And the water's already up to my hips. And my dog's like from paw to shoulder, 8 inches, maybe. She's short. She got that dachshund in her. paddling for her dear life to get to me. And I don't know, like, if she was just determined to get to me and she didn't care about the consequences, or by the time she realized what the consequences were, it was too late to turn around. I don't know. I don't know what was going through that dog. She's got two brain cells that don't always fire together. So, yeah, if he did not turn around, I would definitely be down one dog because I don't think I would have noticed, and that would have been devastating. And it turns out that she slipped her leash, which is why she was, you know, unsupervised out in the middle of the ocean or coast, whatever. She slipped her leash. So now she has a life jacket whenever we go out to the beach. Just in case. So, but yeah, they're well trained to me, so yeah, I was on the phone with somebody and they were asking me, because they have a dog and their dog is not well behaved. Oh, they had a dog. Their dog was not well behaved. They did end up putting him up for adoption, which if you don't have the time to train your dog, right, and you or like you do, but it's not working. I know a lot of people bash and they're like, no, you adopt an animal or you get an animal, like it's for the animal's whole life. I completely understand the sentiment, but sometimes it just doesn't work that way. But so they were asking me, like, how do I do certain things? Like, how do I potty train? How do I train them, to do all this stuff? And I'm like, as far as potty training, like that's like an actual practice, right? That I did intentionally train into them. But like I wear pants all the time, but sometimes I don't, right? How do I train my dogs? Because I like my dogs, kind of jumping up on my legs. How did I train my dogs to not jump up on my legs if I'm not wearing pants? It wasn't intentional. But every time I was not wearing pants, I would not let the dogs jump on me because it hurt. So they learned that if I am not wearing pants, don't try to jump up on me. Like I did not necessarily intentionally teach them, like with training, scoot your butt. They do understand. They get 3 taps to the butt very gently, just like a cue to which direction I want them to be scooting. And I say scoot the butt, and they move. Sometimes Biscuit gets a little bit of that stubborn shriek, so she'll scoot her butt in the direction I want her to go, but I'll like half an inch, and then she looks at me like she did a good job. Like, haha, see, look, I scooted my butt. Or like, I train them to do high fives by way of, because they're small, so they have to be on my bed for it to work. I double clap my hands and I put both my hands up and I say high five because they've got 2 paws, so I use 2 hands. And they'll jump up and put their paws in my hands. High five. So yeah, it's not intentional training. It's accidental training. Which works amazingly well in a lot of circumstances, but some circumstances it does not work at all. Like some dogs, they need that structure. They need that, if then, like programming, hardcore like training. I've just been very fortunate in my life to not have dogs that need that training. Because, I mean, realistically, I don't think I could. I really, really don't. because a lot of it, like, you have to reinforce it. And I know that, like, you have to constantly be doing these things to keep that training intact, right? Or else the dog, I mean, like humans, like if you don't constantly do something, you kind of forget how to do it. That's how that works. Um, which is why now, right? So Callie, right? She's adopted. The two little ones are born here. I got to watch that. It was eye-opening. Callie was adopted, and she had a bunch of teeth pulled, and that's what we're blaming this on. But she was on the streets before she was taken in by um, a shelter, transferred over to like a vet school, right? So she had a bunch of teeth pulled. And so if you touched her face, she'd very aggressively growl at you. And one time it did get taken too far, and that person got a little nipped. I mean, no blood drawn, no nothing. I mean, the dog's also missing some teeth, so that definitely helped. Um, but I spent, and I did it on purpose, I spent 2 years touch training her to handle having her face be touched and not be aggressive about it. And now every once in a while I go up to her and I'm loving on her, and even though I know she really does not like it, I I touch her face, I get up a little bit into her face, I move things around, I quote unquote check her teeth. I play with her little lips so that she, is comfortable being handled in that manner and not have such an adverse reaction. But I also followed up with love and attention. I did something very similar when the dogs were puppies, because my 2 dogs were born 2 months before my baby was born. And kids being kids, um, they will. Yeah, I'm not actually checking her teeth. That's why it's check teeth. Um, they will mishandle the animals. And it's your responsibility as a parent to reinforce to your child, don't be doing that. Right? Like I'm definitely not advocating for, like, some people are like, "Oh, well, your dog, you know, got all aggressive with my kid." And like, if your kid's over there pulling the dog's ears, pulling the dog's tail, trying to like reach into their mouth, um yes. Yeah, and I'm getting there. Like, and your kid gets, nipped, or, like, the dog starts growling and barking and throwing a fit about it. Like, that's more on you as a parent than the dog as a dog. So, I touch trained my dogs. They can handle, having their ears messed with, having their tail messed with, having their paws messed with, having their face messed with, like, with the intent of a level of tolerance. Because especially when I know I did something to hurt them, and they did, get a little snippy about it, like before I changed nail clippers. I clipped my dog's wick a couple of times, and I felt really bad. And the dog nipped me a little bit, and she was so sad. Right? I did not get after the dog. And this is important because my kid, when she was young, would occasionally mishandle the dogs a bit, which, again, I had a level of expectation for. What I did not expect is that the touch training to go so well that they would not react at all. So, no nipping, no growling, no barking. They just stared at me with these pitiful eyes, like, save me, save me. And I felt really bad. She still does. But, I mean, Nuggets just got that face, though. Um, so, it was incidental, really good training for Dutch. I feel bad about that to a degree. I really do. I don't repair it. I just get a new one. I'm bougie that way. Yeah. So yeah, but I mean, end of the story though. I mean, my my kid is definitely more better equipped to handle the dogs. So like I said, as a parent, that's my job. And the dogs, they're they're really really well behaved. Ever since I've been home, like I was working from home. Now I'm this is what I'm endeavoring to do for employment. Um, Biscuit has developed severe-ish separation anxiety. So, but nah, I love him. And I'm biased, so I also think that they're the cutest dogs in the world. This is not objective fact. This is biased opinion, and I recognize that. Yes. Actually, I don't know if you were told about it, but the other day I was out like all day. Um, yeah, I was just doing things all day. Briefly, very briefly, swung by the house and then went right back out. And I did not actually get home until much later. So my mom sends me a picture of Biscuit, and she's, as far as I know, she hasn't done this before. My mom sent me a picture of Biscuit sitting by the front door, staring at it. She was telling me how every time, like something kind of moved, like the dog would get all excited. It was so sad. So yeah, my dogs developed separation anxiety. It like real. And like I was talking about with Nugget and the food, like she really, really wanted to hang on my hip, but she was also kind of hungry. So did she? Oh, that poor Bisky dog. The poor Bisky. He's a Bisky girl. But yeah, so I think We've accomplished the naming ceremony. We have mined and expanded, and I think that's probably going to be it for today. So yeah, I'm going to take this moment again, yeah, the naming ceremonies. I actually, I, I enjoy doing that. I really do. I'm sorry for butchering everyone's names that I butchered and will probably continue to do so. Um, my apologies, but I do actually enjoy doing the little naming ceremonies. Makes me feel accomplished, content. I don't know. There's a word for it that I don't have at the moment. But again, whatever platform you're on, like, follow, subscribe, comment, whatever floats your boat, whatever platform you're on. I do stream on Twitch and then I upload them onto YouTube. Yeah, looks like Mayo has put my YouTube link in the chat. So yeah, 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 they did. So yeah, there you go. Definitely, check it out. If you want to catch any of the past episodes, like I put on to the title that I don't have in front of me right now, so I'm gonna keep talking and make it seem like I know things. Like this is the 16th episode of me playing Minecraft. Um, there's I think one or two on Twitch right now, but all of them are on. Well, all but one, the missing episode are on YouTube. So definitely you can check them out, kind of follow along with everything that's been going on. And I appreciate, every one of you guys, and I hope you have a good day.